Hi everyone, I'm Roy Holman. I'm here with my friend Coda again. We're here to talk about 12 tips for healing and growth. Let me put him down here. Um, and these are things that have been especially helpful for me in my own life to grow up a little bit and heal a little bit. They may or may not resonate with you at this time in your life. Maybe, hopefully they will at this point or maybe some other time. I've arranged them kind of these 12 tips chronologically in my own life, the way they helped me as I was moving through life, usually unconsciously, like many of us. So the first one I'm going to mention is traveling, just traveling. And I don't mean just a vacation, which can be very helpful, but I took off when I was like 21. I was just going crazy. I was not enjoying life and all kinds of problems going on. And I just took off with a friend. We bought a van and traveled for a year and a half around the United States. And it was a lifesaver I was certainly seeking, but also escaping, trying to get away from myself probably, but also my place, my routine, my environment, my family of origins. And, and it was really helpful. And I continued to travel. Around 30, I traveled around Australia, New Zealand, Indonesia for about a year and a half. And then a few years later, I did a 6-month trip all the way around the world, Russia, China, Europe, and then several years in Central America. So I've done a lot of traveling. It's been really helpful. A lot of it was escaping, like I say, but there's a healthy aspect to what they call geographicals. And that was putting myself in different environments, getting to know myself, gain confidence, see other cultures. Really powerful. So that's the first thing that helped me traveling. Number two is paradoxical. It's stopping traveling. I was traveling and running away from things pretty well. I lived in my van for 7 years, and then around age 45 or so, I sold the van. It was really, I actually cried. It was terrifying because I decided I had to root. If I was going to really start to heal my wounds and get to know myself a little deeper, I had to stop. So I bought this home here about 12 years ago and just rooting, grounding, and committing to the deeper work I needed to do. I had to have some roots to do that. So first traveling, secondly, stop traveling, committing. Number three I wrote is nature. For me has been my standby, my go-to when I need something that I'm not sure, I cannot always trust it that I could get it somewhere else or from people. So getting out in nature always balances me. I feel so nourished and held, especially if I can spend the night out there overnight. So, and it's inexpensive too. Mother Nature's always so loving and giving. I go out earthing, if I can't get out in the woods every morning, I still just get out barefoot on the lawn if it's not snowy or frosted over and just get my feet in the grass. Great way to start the day, earthing. They call it earthing. Let's see. Next, I wrote a big one, nutrition. I grew up with the all-American diet, what they call SAD, Standard American Diet, for probably close to 30 years. And then actually when I was in Indonesia, another benefit of traveling, I started to sample healthier food and vegetarian food and stuff. And I started to feel better. And I started noticing some things, but it hasn't been easy. Gosh, what a time, on the planet. What could be or should be maybe fairly easy just to eat natural, real foods. We've gotten all distorted with all this advertising and whatever, GMO and pesticides. So our bodies are a little bit confused maybe and a little bit beat down. So it takes a little time, a little attention. I had to finally get some help from eating disorder people, nutritionists, naturopaths, because it's kind of hard sometimes to figure it out on our own. Ideally, that's what we do because our body is very wise, but it's a little bit confusing. So get help if you can, if you need it. And there is good, healthy food available, and it's really not that expensive, I think, if you shop wisely. Okay, on my little list here, I've got number 5. I wrote making use of suffering. This is challenging the human drama. Have you noticed? The Buddha said life is suffering. We all have some pain. We all have some suffering. The key is to use it. Again, we can use everything. Suffering can be a great motivator to say, hey, I'm not happy. What am I doing with my life? What am I here to do? My body needs some help, or whatever it is. Emotionally, we need some help. So, very important to make use of suffering, not resist it, but also start moving away from it. My teacher in India would say, we suffer because we don't suffer. Just suffer consciously and don't avoid it. Don't avoid the pain and stuff. Feel it fully, and then it starts to dissipate. Number 6, I wrote yoga and meditation, two of my favorites. Of course, I teach both of those. Been doing both of them for about 20 years. Saved my butt when I was going through the eating disorder, depression about age 40. Walked into a yoga class, and fortunately it was a traditional breath connected type. There's a lot of yoga nowadays. It's just exercise, and that's okay, but look for the look for the breath, look for the traditional yoga that feeds the soul and clears the emotions, not just a good workout, in my opinion. Number 7, I wrote therapists. It's important to get help when we need it, and I counted up 10 different therapists over 10 years. I'm not sure why I saw so many of them. Maybe they were kicking me out. I don't know. For some reason, I saw a bunch of them, and they were helpful. It was scary as heck to go get real for a change, but really helpful. So I recommend getting some help. Here's a specific one, number 8. Not from a fear-based thing, not a paranoia thing, but amalgam fillings. I'm hearing from so many people, and when I took mine out, had mine removed around age 47 or so, something started to change around that time. The confusion and the depression started to lift. Could be all the other work I was doing as well, but it did help, and I've heard from so many other people I trust that it really does help many people. So think about that. If you've still got the old amalgam type fillings with the mercury in there, might be wise to start removing those. Next, I wrote Sangha, or community, being around people that really want to wake up, and seekers of truth, speakers of truth. Really important, again, watching the company we keep, and all the groups along with that. I went to men's group, eating disorders group. I've been to many different groups that really helped me. So again, community. Number 10, again, I hit the road again, not in escaping, but really seeking. India. I went to India twice, specifically to Oneness University, and a lot of good things happened there. I reconnected with that bigger part of me, the higher self, or whatever you want to call that, which I'd been estranged from. A lot of woundings around that, but also energy was really high at that place, so it really helped me shake up and clear some of the old pain, raise the energy vibration. Very important. 2 more I'll mention. Number 11 and 12 are 2 that I'm definitely still working on. Always will be, especially as a guy, but getting out of the head, getting out of the thinking mind and down into the body and the heart, and starting to trust and follow the inner wisdom and the intuition. Most of us, like me, I was taught to trust everybody else but me, the authority figures, right? Something didn't feel right about that. They didn't seem very wise to me, some of them. So very important. Get out of the head and start to check in with ourselves. Trust that. And number 12, relax. A very simple one, but for me, a very hard one. Some of us, well, that's just the way our culture is. We're programmed we have to work 60 hours a week and strive and struggle and all that stuff. And we got to get past that. We got to get out of that sympathetic nervous system, fight or flight stuff. If we're going to make leaps of consciousness upward, we have to relax. We can't strive and try to claw our way there. That's the old energy, the old paradigm stuff. So for me, it's been a little challenging, but I'm learning. I really am. I'm starting to slow down and lighten up my schedule. I'm going to add a 13th bonus one. This is one that unfortunately, I haven't had struggles with. I've either been lucky or smart or been guided, but getting off of some of the prescription drugs. This is a tender one, and I don't want to tick anybody off. I'm not saying should. I think everything has its place, right? It's all good, all God. Drugs have their place. Way overused, way overdone. Many of them keep us a little bit numbed and dumbed down. Almost all of them have some side effects, right? So really important to start to wean ourselves off of that. Mother Earth Gaia is very smart, very wise. She has everything we need for health, right? In the water, in the food, in the rainforest. It's there. We have to open up to it and rediscover it. I think some of it's been hidden. Very interesting. It's a big topic. But anyway, take responsibility. Get off of some of the prescription drugs. Okay, I think that's about it. That's my tips for personal growth. Again, those are kind of chronological according to how they helped me more or less, and I hope they help you. Dakota here has to say goodbye. He loves the camera. Not really. I think I love the cameras. I'm projecting my ego. Anyway, I hope this has helped you. Thank you, and I'll say goodbye.